Critic, it's me, Critic Assassin. Something evil is coming your way, and you must be ready. Train hard, my young critic, for I am someone you may need to know later. Hello, I am the Critic Assassin.
And I'm J-Man.
And today we're going to talk about the very, very strange movie that is Assassin's Creed. It came out recently in 2016. And the main star of this movie is Michael Fassbender, who I don't know a lot about. I only know about assassin work, because I'm an assassin. Get it? Ha. So, without further ado, let's talk about sort of what we think of the movie up to this point. Because we have not seen the full movie. We have not seen it yet. The full movie has yet to be watched. He's probably going to be leaving soon. And I'll probably just continue to watch this while eating what popcorn and donuts we have left. Let's get on with this review. Or this, shall we say, partial. This part review. So, it starts off with the main character doing some crazy stuff. And up to this point, the plot has been okay. I do not believe the plot is as hard to follow as people say it is. But, I mean, what do you think? Is the plot, for you, easy to...
It's actually pretty easy to follow through. The beginning, actually, it's a lot of explaining his childhood, what was going on in his life. Try to get, like, a basic idea of what to understand as the movie goes on. So a lot of explaining happenings, which that's good, too, because if you don't know anything about Assassin's Creed, you might be a little confused, so I think a lot of explainings in order to kind of get a general grip of what's happening in this movie franchise. But, yeah, I think with the explanation that goes on in the beginning, I feel like any normal person should be able to follow along with relative ease as to what's happening.
I originally thought that using the past characters would have been a problem, and some fresh new characters would have been something that was needed to reinvigorate the series. However, as I watch this movie progress, I start to realize that it's almost the complete opposite. Basically, they're trying to remake the original story that they were trying to tell, but using new characters. Normally this would be fine, except they're fixing mistakes that would never really be there, and in turn it almost seems like they're adding new ones. For instance, one thing that we notice is that the bird shows up too many bloody times. For those of you who are not, who have maybe never played Assassin's Creed, there's normally a bird that'll show up whenever you go to do a leap of faith or to symbolize something important. Let me ask you, J-Man, how many times does the bird show up?
Well, it shows up, I believe, every time our main protagonist synchronizes into the Animus. We'll have a short clip where the bird scene pops up. Just to kind of give you a general layout of the land, but every time you'll synchronize into the Animus, you'll for sure have a bird scene where you just kind of fly around town.
It's a bit of a problem, and one of the things that they really should not have fixed. But this movie isn't all bad. There are some good things we noticed. One of the biggest problems about the video game is that because most of the gameplay took place in the past time, you would almost know more about the past assassin than you would about the present one. While people were focusing more on Altair Ibn al-Lahad and Ezio Auditore de Firenze and Connor Kenway, you really should have taken time to try to develop your main assassin and your present-day assassin in Desmond Miles. But they decide to change this and go for the past ones. But in the movie, as J-Man will hopefully explain, they do a lot better job of fixing this, don't they?
Oh, yeah. They do. Oh, explain? Oh,
yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, they do. They give us a lot of kind of story time in the present time to kind of further elaborate the present time assassin, which is who's playing the present time assassin?
That would be the past and the present time. The past assassin and the present day assassin are both being played by Michael Fassbender.
Yes, Michael Fassbender. I think they do a good job. It's good because they kind of, I would say, they're showing a little bit more of the present side more than the past, which gives us a little bit more information and plot continuation with Michael Fassbender. And I think that's a good change of pace compared to the old series, which was mainly focused on the past and very little shown in the present, which is a good change of pace.
We do notice as well that the main character of the story is not just a whiny complainer with no real emotion. Michael Fassbender actually brings more emotion to Callum Lynch and or the Desmond Easter egg. However, unfortunately, he does seem to share Desmond's silliness, as explained in one scene where they're talking about Aguilar for the first time. Who is Aguilar? And this is just after the girl she's talking to says that your DNA matches. Who is Aguilar? Your ancestor. What gave that away? Geez, I wonder. Maybe it's the fact that your DNA matches. It's a little bit upsetting that Abstergo has seemingly become dumber in this movie than they were in the game. In the game, Abstergo was on point. Desmond never was given any weapons, and even though he got better with his skills over time, he had no real weapons to combat them with because they never gave them any. But as we've already noticed, not once, but twice, they give him weapons. Why? J-Man?
I believe they give him weapons to kind of help with the synchronization process. I'm not too sure what their thought process was with helping him sink into the Animus. Not too sure why. They don't really elaborate on that, and that's kind of my problem with the Hidden Blades helping him sink to the Animus. I feel like you need to kind of elaborate as to why you would need these, and it just kind of leaves the audience wondering, why was this included? It never gets answered, so just kind of one of those small things that could have been improved on.
As we've already seen, movies, whether they be the first time or a prequel, can be given an opportunity to answer things that we don't fully understand. No movie took better advantage of this than Star Wars story, Star Wars Rogue One. In this movie, they try to explain why the Death Star always has the same weakness. The reason why is because that's how the plans were. And that the Empire had to learn by hand how to remake this deadly weapon of destruction. There are about 2 questions that could have been had the chance to answer, and neither one of them are. J-Man just mentioned the first, and the second one. Why do assassins need to lose their ring finger? Now, I know this looks like I'm sticking the middle finger up, but I'm clearly not. This is the middle one. This is my ring finger. There. This could have had the opportunity to explain that, and, well, did it really?
No.
Sadness. Well, at least the Hidden Blades didn't turn out as bad as the toys have. I've seen the toys. Hang on, give me a second. I'm gonna have to try to be really careful with this. I've seen the Hidden Blades for the toy of Aguilar's Hidden Blade go, I don't know, like that maybe. Not even. Just enough to, like, poke you.
Poke someone, yeah.
Not even enough to, like, do any damage. But it's still a very silly thing, in my opinion. And I guess we might as well just leave with final thoughts of what we think of the movie up to this point. So, J-Man, I'll start with you.
Alright, final points of the movie. I believe the first half of the movie is a little bit of action scenes, but it's more elaboration. Kind of like tell you what's going on, what's happening, and just kind of give you a general grasp of what's going to happen. I believe further into the movie, a lot more action will take place. We'll see a lot more, adventure, assassins back in the past fighting, and the Apple of Eden's location will be rediscovered, and that will spark a conflict between the assassins, which are currently imprisoned by Abstergo, and Abstergo, both trying to race to find this Apple of Eden and try to capture it for their both use it for whatever purposes they want. Well, assassins to protect it, and Abstergo to use it for nefarious purposes. And also, I think so far I'm having, it's a pretty good movie so far. Plot wise, not the best, but is enjoyable. I think it's pretty enjoyable, yes.
For me, I would have to piggyback off his thing. The plot is a bit confusing, but to be fair, this is Assassin's Creed we're talking about. Assassin's Creed, if you didn't understand how to balance it well, this is going to be a confusing storyline for anybody's first experience with Assassin's Creed. One of the rules with writing is that you're never supposed to use the past and present tense. If you're going to use past tense, then you use past tense throughout the entire story. And if you're going to use present tense, you use them for the entire story. So already, you get a sense really that in movie making, past and present timelines shouldn't really be happening. Assassin's Creed took this chance and tried to make a good story out of it. And in game, it worked out great. In movies, not so much. Now, the only problem I have with the Animus is that they give him weapons. That's really my only problem. Sure, does it look like some big arcade arm machine thing that's been a weekend at the Matrix? Nah. If the Matrix was remade in a more modern time period, then I would totally agree. But as far as the only Matrix movie that is concerned, the original Animus looks more like it spent the weekend at the Matrix. By look and by how it worked, it's pretty clear that even the mobile Animus looks more like the Matrix. You would have to agree, right?
Oh, yes, indeed.
My final thoughts on this movie is that it's okay. It's an okay movie. If you're a fan of Assassin's Creed, you're going to enjoy this, in my opinion. Now, I have yet to make it through the entire movie. I'm going to tell you right now, we are only 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 1 second into this entire movie. J-Man is going to be leaving soon, which is why I decided we'd get sort of this mid-opinions video done. I'm going to continue the rest of this, and when I and some of my other friends get the chance to discuss, the J Critic will be posting a more in-depth, full-length review. And I will be playing a big part in not only that review, but in also an upcoming J Critic review on Assassin's Creed Lineage. So I guess there's only one way to end it, I guess. I'm the Critic Assassin.
And I'm J-Man.
And we will see you all later.